If you were running Kubernetes before 2022, your containers were secretly going through a translator. Kubernetes wanted to speak one language, the container runtime interface, but Docker spoke another. So Kubernetes built a bridge, a compatibility layer called Dockershim, right inside the kubelet. It worked for years. Then Kubernetes ripped it out. In this masterclass, we will trace the full story. What Dockershim was, why it was needed, how it worked inside, where it sat in the architecture, the historical timeline, why it was removed, what replaced it, real-world impact, migration strategies, and common misconceptions. Let us begin. So what exactly is Dockershim? It was a compatibility layer built directly into the Kubernetes kubelet that let Kubernetes talk to Docker Engine. Think of it as a real-time language interpreter at a United Nations summit. Kubernetes spoke the Container Runtime Interface, or CRI, protocol. Docker Engine spoke the Docker API. Dockershim sat between them, translating every request on the fly. The kubelet would say create this pod sandbox in CRI language. Dockershim would translate that into Docker API calls. Docker would execute the work, and the response would travel back through the same translation layer. It was not a separate binary. It was not an external service. It lived inside the kubelet process itself, compiled right into the Kubernetes source code. That is the key detail. Dockershim was in-tree Kubernetes code. Why did Kubernetes need this translator? Because of history. When Kubernetes was becoming popular, Docker was the dominant container tool. Most teams already standardized on Docker Engine for their container workflows. But Kubernetes wanted a runtime-agnostic model, a clean interface that any container runtime could implement. That interface became the Container Runtime Interface, introduced in Kubernetes version 1.5. The problem was, Docker Engine did not implement CRI. It had its own API. Forcing everyone to abandon Docker overnight would have killed Kubernetes adoption. So Dockershim was the diplomatic solution. It preserved compatibility with Docker while giving Kubernetes time to mature the CRI standard. Think of it as a temporary power adapter when you travel to a country with different electrical outlets. Let us trace exactly what happened when Kubernetes needed to start a container. The API server schedules a pod onto a node. The kubelet receives that assignment and needs to create the container. With Dockershim, the flow went like this. The kubelet makes a CRI call, create pod sandbox. Dockershim intercepts that call. It translates the CRI request into Docker Engine API calls. Docker Engine, the Docker daemon, receives the translated request. But here is the irony. Docker Engine itself does not run containers directly. It delegates to containered, the lower-level container runtime, and container delegates to runc, which actually talks to the Linux kernel. So the full path was kubelet, to Dockershim, to Docker Engine, to containered, to runc, to the Linux kernel. That is 4 translation hops to get a container running. Think of it as a game of telephone. Each extra link adds latency and potential for errors. Let us zoom into the node architecture. Every Kubernetes node runs a kubelet, the agent that manages pods. The kubelet needs a container runtime to create and manage containers. With Dockershim, that runtime integration looked like a tall stack of layers. At the top, the kubelet with its CRI expectations. Then Dockershim, the built-in translator. Then Docker Engine, the full container platform with image management, networking, and volumes. Then containered, the actual container lifecycle manager. Then runc, the low-level open container initiative runtime. And finally, the Linux kernel with namespaces, control groups, and secure computing filters. Compare this to the modern CRI path. The kubelet talks directly to containered through CRI. Containered talks to runc. That is it. 2 layers instead of 4. Fewer moving parts, fewer failure domains, simpler debugging. Let us walk through the timeline. 2014. Docker dominates early container workflows. It is the tool everyone uses to build and run containers. 2016. Kubernetes version 1.5 introduces the container runtime interface. This is the pivotal moment. Kubernetes says, we want a standard runtime API. But Docker does not speak CRI, so Dockershim bridges the gap. 2016 through 2020. Dockershim works quietly for 4 years. Meanwhile, Containered and CRI-O, Container Runtime Interface for the Open Container Initiative, mature as native CRI runtimes. December 2020, Kubernetes version 1.20 announces Dockershim deprecation. The community was shocked. Many headlines screamed Docker is dead. That was not accurate. And finally, May 2022, Kubernetes version 1.24 removes Dockershim entirely from the kubelet source code. This is the most important architecture question. Why did Kubernetes remove Dockershim? 5 reasons. First, maintenance burden. Kubernetes had to carry Docker-specific logic inside its core code. Every Docker API change meant Kubernetes contributors had to update the shim. Second, architectural cleanliness. Kubernetes wanted to rely on CRI native runtimes, not special case exceptions. Third, engineering velocity. Removing vendor-specific code makes the core code base easier to evolve. Fourth, ecosystem maturity. Containered and CRI-O had become production-ready CRI native runtimes. There were now real alternatives. Fifth, separation of concerns. Kubernetes should define the runtime interface. Runtime should implement it. Kubernetes should not indefinitely maintain adapters for every runtime. Think of it as a building removing its temporary scaffolding. The scaffolding was essential during construction. But once the walls are solid, keeping it up just adds weight and blocks the view. So what came next? There was no single entry replacement. Instead, Kubernetes moved to a better model. The preferred path: use a native CRI runtime. Containered is the most common choice. It speaks CRI directly. The kubelet talks to containered. Containered manages containers through runc. Done. Fewer layers, simpler stack. CRI-O is the other major option. It was built from the ground up specifically for Kubernetes. It speaks CRI natively and focuses purely on running Open Container Initiative containers. No image build tools, no developer workflow features, just Kubernetes container execution. But what if your team absolutely needs Docker Engine on nodes? Mirantis created CRI-dockerd, an external adapter that re-implements what Dockershim did, but as a standalone process. It sits between the kubelet and Docker Engine, translating CRI calls just like the old shim. Think of it as an aftermarket part for a discontinued model. Let us compare all the players side by side. Docker Engine, the full container platform. It does not speak CRI directly. It was designed for developer workflows, building images, running containers locally, managing volumes and networks. Dockershim, the old in-tree adapter. It translated CRI calls to Docker API. Removed in version 1.24. Containered, a lightweight container runtime. It speaks CRI directly. It is actually what Docker Engine uses under the hood. When you cut out Docker Engine, you are just removing the middle manager. CRI-O, built specifically for Kubernetes. Speaks CRI natively. Minimal footprint, Kubernetes focused. And CRI-dockerd, the external compatibility bridge for teams that still need Docker Engine. Think of it like a language translation table. CRI is the universal language. Containered and CRI-O are native speakers. Docker Engine needs a translator. That translator used to be Dockershim. Now it is CRI-dockerd. When organizations migrated away from Dockershim, The impact went far beyond swapping a runtime. Node bootstrap scripts changed, different packages, different socket paths, different service configurations. Troubleshooting shifted entirely. Teams that relied on running Docker PS and Docker logs on nodes suddenly needed to learn crictl, the CRI command line tool. Monitoring agents that collected metrics through the Docker socket stopped working. Security agents that mounted the Docker socket for container visibility went blind. Log collection paths changed. Incident response runbooks became obsolete overnight. The biggest lesson? The real migration risk is usually not the application. It is the operational glue around the application. Think of it like rewiring a house. The lights still work the same, but every switch, outlet, and circuit breaker has moved. Here is the migration playbook. Step 1. Discover your current runtime. Check what each node is actually running. Step 2. Inventory all dependencies on Docker. Search your fleet for anything that touches the Docker socket, runs Docker commands, or assumes Docker-specific file paths. Step 3. Choose your target. Containered for most teams. CRI-O for Kubernetes-focused environments. CRI-Dockerd only if Docker Engine is truly required. Step 4. Validate your tooling. Test observability agents, security scanners, log shippers, and backup tools against the new runtime. Step 5. The safest rollout pattern. Build new node pools with the target runtime. Cordon old nodes. Drain workloads gradually. Watch your service level objectives. Remove the old pool. Replace nodes. Do not mutate them. Let us clear up the most dangerous misconceptions. Misconception 1. Kubernetes dropped Docker images. False. Docker images follow the Open Container Initiative format. They work perfectly with containered, CRI-O, and every OCI-compliant runtime. Misconception 2. You cannot use Docker on your laptop anymore. False. Docker as a developer tool is completely unaffected. Build with Docker, push to a registry, deploy to Kubernetes running containered. It all works. Misconception 3. Removing Dockershim breaks all containers. False. It only changed the node runtime path. Your application containers are identical. Misconception 4. CRI-Dockerd is the same as old Dockershim. Not exactly. It preserves Docker engine usage but runs as an external project, not inside Kubernetes core. Where do things stand today? Dockershim has been removed since Kubernetes version 1.24. Containered and CRI-O are the recommended CRI native runtimes. CRI-Dockerd remains actively maintained. Version 0.4.2 was released as recently as March 2026. The decision matrix is simple. New Kubernetes cluster? Use containered. It is the ecosystem default. Strong Kubernetes only focus? Consider CRI-O. Legacy tooling requires Docker Engine on nodes? Use CRI-Dockerd as the bridge. Upgrading an old cluster past version 1.24? Move to containered or CRI-O unless you have a concrete blocker. The industry has largely settled this question. CRI native runtimes are the path. Here is your mental model. Dockershim was a compatibility bridge, not the container runtime itself. It existed because Docker Engine did not natively speak the Kubernetes container runtime interface. It helped Kubernetes grow during the Docker dominant era. Kubernetes deprecated it in version 1.20 and removed it in version 1.24. Docker images still work perfectly. Modern Kubernetes strongly prefers CRI native runtimes like containered and CRI-O. The real migration risk is the operational tooling around the runtime, not the applications themselves. That is the full Dockershim story, from its birth as a compatibility bridge to its removal and the modern CRI landscape. If this masterclass helped you understand the Kubernetes runtime evolution, subscribe and share it with your team. Understanding the bridge helps you cross it safely. Thanks for watching.